You know how it feels when your computer's slowing down and you're constantly bothered by pop-ups and notifications that you don't need. It's frustrating, right? But what if I told you there's an operating system out there that can change all of that? And no, I'm not talking about Windows or macOS. I'm talking about Linux. Now, before you switch off and think Linux, that's only for programmers and hackers, hear me out. Linux is not just for geeks anymore. It's an operating system that's user-friendly, secure, and constantly updated with the latest features. But why should you switch to Linux? Well, that's what this video is about. So grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's dive into the world of Linux. Alright, Linux is an operating system that's been around since 1991 when a Finnish student named Linus Torvalds created the first version of the Linux kernel. But what is Linux exactly and how is it different from operating systems like Windows and macOS? For starters, Linux is free and open source, which means that anyone can download, use, and modify the source code for free. This is in contrast to proprietary operating systems which are owned by their respective companies and often come with a hefty price tag. But why is that important? Well, it means that Linux is developed by a community of developers all around the world who are constantly working to improve and update the software. This also means that Linux is available in many different distributions, or distros, each with its own set of features and software packages. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're a photographer and you're looking for a free operating system that's perfect for editing your photos. You could choose to use Windows or macOS, but you'd have to pay for a license, and the software packages available might not be tailored for your needs. With Linux, you could choose a distribution like Ubuntu Studio, which is specifically designed for creative professionals like photographers and artists. Now, let's talk about security. One of the biggest advantages of Linux over other operating systems is its security. Linux is known for being more secure than Windows, with fewer viruses and malware targeting the operating system. But why is that? Linux is open source, which means that anyone can review and modify the code. This makes it easier to identify and fix the security vulnerabilities. In contrast, Windows and macOS is closed source, meaning that only Microsoft and Apple have access to the code, making it harder for the community to identify and fix security issues. But it's not just about open source nature of Linux. Linux also has strict permission systems, making it difficult for malicious code to execute without proper permissions. This in contrast to Windows, where a virus can often run with the same level of permissions as the user who opened it. Let me give you an example. Imagine you accidentally download a file that contains malware. On a Windows machine, the malware could potentially gain access to your entire system, steal your personal data, and cause havoc. But on a Linux machine, the malware would only be able to access the files and directories you've explicitly given it permission to access. This is because Linux built in security model that separates users and system processes, which helps prevent malware from spreading. On top of that, Linux also has a robust firewall and other security features built in. Updates and patches for Linux are released frequently, which helps keep the system secure and up to date. But it's not just about business and organizations. Linux security benefits also extend to personal privacy, as it collects fewer data and offers more control over data collection practices. This is quite unlike Apple and Microsoft, which love to hoard and sell data to third-party companies. Let's talk about customization. One of the coolest things about Linux is that it's free and open source. That's right, you don't have to pay for a license or proprietary software. This makes Linux an affordable option for individuals, businesses, and governments alike. But it's not just about the cost savings. Linux also offers a wide range of free and open source software's alternatives to proprietary software. Imagine you're a student who needs to write papers and create presentations. Instead of paying for Microsoft Office, you could use LibreOffice, a free and open source alternative that offers similar functionality. Or imagine you're a graphic designer who needs to edit photos. Instead of paying for Adobe Photoshop, like mentioned previously, you could use GIMP, a free and open source image editing program. But affordability isn't the only advantage of Linux open source nature. It also allows for greater customization. Think of it like a car. With an operating system like macOS or Windows, you can only customize the outside of the car. Maybe you can change the color or add a spoiler, but you're limited to what the manufacturer allows. With Linux, you can customize the inside of the car too. You can change the engine, the transmission, the suspension to fit your specific needs. In the same way, with Linux, you can modify the source code to fit your specific needs. Maybe you want to change the look and feel of the user interface. Maybe you want to add a specific feature that's not available in the default software. Whatever it is, with Linux, you have the power to make it happen. And the best part, you don't have to be a computer genius to customize Linux. There are many online companies and forums where you can find help and guidance from other users. It's like having a pit crew helping you modify a car. One of the things that can drive a person crazy is a computer that crashes or freezes all the time. Luckily, Linux is known for being stable and reliable, with fewer crashes and errors compared to Windows. That's right, you can say goodbye to the dreaded blue screen of death. One of the reasons Linux stability is its modular design. If there's an issue with one component of the system, you can troubleshoot and fix it without having to reboot the whole computer. That's the beauty of Linux modular system. But it's not just about the modular design. Linux also runs fewer background processes than Windows, which reduces the overall system load and can improve stability. And Linux has better memory management than Windows, allowing it to handle memory-sensitive tasks more efficiently and reduce the likelihood of crashes. In other words, Linux is like a well-oiled machine that runs smoothly without breaking. And because of its stability, Linux is a popular choice for servers and other mission-crucial systems. Think of it like a commercial airplane. You don't want the airplane to crash or experience turbulence. That's why commercial airplanes are designed to be reliable and stable, so they can safely transport passengers from point A to point B. In the same way, Linux is designed to be stable and reliable, so it can safely run mission-critical systems without downtime. Privacy is a big deal these days. We've all heard stories about companies collecting our personal information and using it for their own purposes. That's where Linux comes in. Linux is an operating system that puts privacy first. Unlike Windows and macOS, which collect all sorts of data on its users, Linux has fewer data collection practices and more control over personal information. With Linux, you get to decide what data you want to share and with whom. It's like having a bouncer at the door of your digital life, keeping unwanted visitors out. But it's not just about controlling your data. Linux open source nature allows users to see and modify the source code for greater transparency and control of their data. Think of it like an open book. You can read the book and make changes to it if you want. That's the beauty of Linux's open source nature. And it's not just about personal computers. One of the coolest things about Linux is its community. It's like being a part of a secret society where everyone is passionate about the same thing, and that thing is Linux. Linux community is made up of developers and users who are dedicated to making the operating system better. They're a big family that's always there to help and support each other. If you're having trouble with Linux, all you have to do is ask for help and someone will be there to assist you. But it's not just about help and support. Linux community-driven development model allows for faster and more frequent updates and bug fixes. That means issues are addressed quickly and efficiently, leading to a more stable and reliable operating system. And who doesn't want that? Linux community also contributes to the development of new software and tools for the operating system, leading to greater innovation and choice. There are so many cool programs and tools out there you can use with Linux, and the best part, they're all free and open source. And it's not just about the software. Linux community also provides opportunities for networking and collaborating among developers and users, leading to a more vibrant and diverse community overall. You'll meet people from all walks of life who share your love for Linux. It's like being a part of a global family. If you're someone who likes to tinker with technology, Linux is the operating system for you. Linux is incredibly versatile and can run on just about anything, from beefy gaming rig to a tiny Raspberry Pi. One of the great things about Linux is that it's lightweight and efficient. It means it can run on devices with limited resources, like an old laptop or a low-power device. Instead of throwing out that old laptop, why not give it a new lease on life with Linux? But it's not just about older hardware. Linux versatility also makes it a popular choice for embedded systems, like routers and IoT devices. You might not realize, but many of the devices in your home or office are running on Linux. And because Linux is open source, it's easy to customize and optimize for specific hardware. This means that users have the greater choice and flexibility when it comes to selecting their hardware. Want to build your own custom computer? Linux makes it easy. Do you want a computer that's fast, efficient, and can keep up with your needs? Then you need Linux. Linux is known for speed and efficiency, which means it can run circles around Windows on the same hardware. And that's not all. Linux efficiency also leads to lower power consumption and longer battery life on laptops and other portable devices. That's right, with Linux, you can work longer and get more done on a single charge. But it's not just about laptops and portable devices. Linux efficiency and speed makes it a popular choice for scientific computing and other resource-intensive applications. That's why many scientists, engineers, and researchers choose Linux for their work. With Linux, you can crunch through complex calculations and data analysis in record time. Linux is the operating system of the future. It's the ultimate tool for those who value security, privacy, and customization. Linux is more secure and stable than Windows and macOS, with fewer viruses and malware targeting the operating system. Its modular designs make it easy to troubleshoot and fix issues, leading to a more reliable computing experience. Linux's open source nature allows for constant innovation and development, with a passionate community of developers and users always working to improve the operating system. And with a wide range of free and open source software alternatives to proprietary software, Linux is not just affordable, but also customizable. By choosing Linux, you're not just choosing an operating system. You're joining a community that's dedicated to making technology better for everyone. From students to professionals, Linux offers something for everyone. So if you're ready to take control of your computing experience, give Linux a try. It's a world of possibilities waiting for you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.